Hey everyone, Kevin here. So a lot of us are looking for updates on CARES Act 2, and a lot of us also know that Mitch McConnell, the leader of the Senate, the Republican that leads the Senate, is going to be probably the biggest roadblock for additional stimulus checks. Now, this is not to suggest you need to be a Democrat or Republican or in the middle or whatever. I don't care what side you're on. All this video is dedicated towards is, what did Mitch McConnell just say in an interview, and what can we deduce from that talk about potential future stimulus checks? Let me get into what he said and then my opinion. All right, so first of all, Guy Benson, who is a columnist with Fox News, had Mitch McConnell on his radio show. I tuned in for the radio show because I'm not worried about what the Democrats think about the stimulus plan. The stimulus plan, in the eyes of the Democrats, is more checks, please. Many, many more checks. That's fine. Trump seems open to checks. Joe Biden, yes, stimulus, good. Pelosi, checks, good. Like, that's all good. The only people we're worried about is the Senate and the Republicans. So Mitch McConnell went on this radio show, and this is exactly what he said. And keep in mind, with every negotiation, there are two sides. So we're trying to figure out what's on Mitch McConnell's mind. So the first thing he says is he comes out up front and says, look, the issues in our economy right now and with the country are going to be, quote, hard to address without spending a lot more money. This is good that he's making this realization because as of a few days ago, a lot of us are like, oh my gosh, the Republicans are gonna leave it hanging going, well, let's just wait and see what happens. Well, again, not taking political sides here, but I think a lot of us are like, we don't have time for wait and see, okay? We need some help. So this is good, right? He also said that they're going to be reconvening next Monday. So they've got a week off right now, which technically when they have a week off, they're still doing interviews and they're still talking. So there'll be more things we can be watchful of, but they'll be back next Monday, which is after the Gilead trial. So we'll know, cure, no cure. How is that gonna factor in with reopening? How is Georgia's reopening going? Are their cases gonna be spiking by next week? We'll see. These things will all impact what happens in the Senate next week. But anyway, what he spent most of his time talking about is that he wants more protections, which he believes the Democrats are going to give him a hard time on. He wants more protections for first responders and small businesses by protecting them from lawsuits, because he's worried that people are going to slowly start reopening the economy. We're going to open up our nail salon and our barbershop and this. People are going to go in, and instead of slipping and suing the company, they're going to go in, get coughed on, then they get the disease, and now all of a sudden they're suing the business. And that might actually stop a lot of businesses from wanting to reopen. So this is actually interesting. We haven't heard that POV before, or at least I haven't, but I think that seems very legitimate. Like, I get that. Because he says, and this is his words, he says, there are a lot of trial lawyers right now sharpening their pencils, ready to find people and cases to basically take on to go sue small businesses all across the country. And that's the last thing we want to be able to open our country up, is people fearful that now they're going to get sued over a pandemic. And guess what? A lot of business insurance policies exclude pandemics. And so it could totally be feasible that businesses are like, we're not going to open up because our insurance policy doesn't cover pandemics. And if I get sued for a pandemic, I'm screwed. Like, I thought I was screwed staying at home with my business closed, and then the PPP loan came around for 8 weeks, and now I get sued? That's bad. In addition to protecting small businesses, it looks like Mitch McConnell wants to prioritize protecting healthcare workers and first responders, and he also wants to make sure, because we know that Democrats want funding for state and local governments, he says he wants to make sure that the money is going to pandemic-related expenses. He doesn't want states and local governments getting a bunch of money and then spending it on problems they had previously. For example, if a state was about to go bankrupt because they're spending money on who knows what, and it's not even related to the pandemic, Mitch McConnell doesn't want to see money going from basically the pandemic fund, CARES Act number 2, and solving that problem. Okay, interesting. So what does this mean for stimulus checks? Well, this is actually really good for stimulus checks. I know the words checks and stimulus checks were not uttered, but if you read between the lines, you go, aha, if the Republicans didn't want to spend more money at all, they would maintain the position they had as late as yesterday, where they would just say, well, we're gonna wait and see. Now, well, it looks like we're gonna have to spend more money. We're gonna want strings attached, though, in spending more money for state and local governments and small businesses. There are gonna be some strings and rules we're gonna wanna see put in, but all right, we're starting to realize we have to spend more money. That's a great sign for the potential future of stimulus checks. Again, not taking sides, Republican, Democratic, it doesn't matter. This whole video is just what are the odds of stimulus checks coming? And I'll say that interview to me is a clear as day signal that the Republicans are ready to talk and they're ready to work something out. Obviously, we'll know a lot more in the coming days and especially next week, but I wanted to give you this update because I was really concerned after yesterday when I heard, let's wait and see, because none of us want to hear, let's wait and see. And it also helps that you have Kevin Hassett, the White House economic advisor, saying we should be able to come together in a bipartisan way and make smart moves because, and then I'm paraphrasing now, that was a quote from him, but paraphrasing, Kevin Hassett's like, this data is gonna be terrible and miserable and we need to help the people more. So this is good. More optimism, more good information. I wish I could tell you I had a definite, but that's just the way politics plays. So stay tuned and I'll keep bringing the updates to you. Thanks for watching. Check out those links down below to get 2 free stocks with Webull. If you deposit $100, you get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400. Get your life insurance. Takes you 5 minutes to sign up on your phone. You get life insurance, peace of mind for you and the family and everybody. And of course, join me in my programs linked below. You get to join me live every day at 9 a.m. and ask me questions about money, real estate, stocks, you name it. Thanks so much, and until next time.